G'day, welcome back to Brooksy's Car Restoration. Yeah, if you watched the last video, we're working on the Rocky, the new Rocky. I found out it is an 85 model, second month 85. So there you go. Thank you to the message I got from the last video. The plate was there, it was too dirty to read, so I cleaned the plate up and yeah, second month 85. So we know what year model it is now. So yeah, what we are up to so far today. I've got all the rims off, brand new tyres. We are going to clean these up, give them a nice dusting of paint. Brand new tyres, 5 brand new tyres. The rims have seen better days. But yeah, they still got the paint and stuff on them. So that's the first bit, and if you see me do tyres, just see me do one tyre, see me do 100. So we'll get those cleaned up because I want to put them back on tomorrow and painted. And I've been umming and ahhing about the carpet in the Rocky. Now, if you hear Australians talking about umming and ahhing, it usually means they're deep in thought about something. We and ah about a lot of things. No, I laugh when I see other YouTubers using that phrase, umming and ahhing about something. So yeah, basically, I'm having a deep thought about the carpets in this thing. And in my previous Rocky, the yellow one I had, so I do a lot of off-roading and camping, and the carpets were constantly getting wet, muddy, sandy, whatever. It's a lot easier to keep clean without the carpets in the car. Also, with the carpets getting constantly muddy, wet, etc., etc. They were starting to rot out the floors in my yellow Rocky. Almost had to put a brand new floor in the back end of it. So as it would have been, as satisfying as it would have been to give this a full clean, and it would have made for a really good detailing video, I'm probably just gonna yank the whole bloody thing out and save a hell of a lot of work, because getting this carpet with all the oil stains and everything else in it back to somewhat reasonable condition would have been a nightmare. Plus, I don't really want it in there. The floors underneath look pretty bloody good too, by the way. So yeah, that's what we'll end up doing. I'll start prepping the wheels and get them painted, and then in between coats of paint, I'll come in here and tear out all this carpet. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to throw it. Like it's quite well, and it's super oily. And yes, I could potentially save it, but I'm probably if for the life of this car, I'm probably never going to have carpet in it. Just it's so much easier to clean. It's so much, like I said, it'll just cause rotting. My previous one had it, and it was just causing the carpets would stay wet constantly, and they would just, yeah, not fun. Anywho, let's get on with it, shall we? Apparently I lied. We are still going to do a ton of vacuuming, because apparently I can't keep any of this mess on those carpets. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, got the back seat out. I'll give that a good... The front of the seat's actually pretty good. It's just the top that's sort of cracked. The front and the bottom of the seat's actually not bad. So I'm going to give that a good shampoo, brush, drill brush, vacuum. See if we can't get them looking and smelling better. And then we'll give this whole back section a good clean out. Rip the 2 front seats out. Take the carpet out from there. Give everything a good vacuum. We've got old cans. Some bottles. Old hubcap. I'm wondering if that's the hubcap off this side actually. The back hubcap. There's just one there. Has this one got it? That side doesn't have it. Anyway, the front ones have got the hubs, so there's no need for a hubcap there. Might have to go and source another one, so I can have two on the back, just for fun. Doesn't faze me terribly though if we don't. But I'm actually very happy with how solid these guards are and how nice the floor is underneath. So we'll give this a good clean and what have you. It's this back seat. Put the back seat, all the seats and stuff back in, and then go to the middle. What is that? I don't know if that's off the car somewhere. All the rubbers look black though, so it's a bit weird. Anyways, so far got these two cool back speakers. Hopefully they work. All the door cards are dusty, but still solid. So the car hasn't really leaked, or if it has, it's been kept in a garage, so it didn't really leak that badly. Alrighty. Got half of Dad here. Just reconnecting the old fuel tank. We did a bit of a scope down the tank, and there's a little bit of rust. We can't really see too well with the old borescope. Where am I up to? Disconnected the back seat. Got half of the carpet out. Cleaned up the rims, the old rusty rims, and we're about to give them their first coat. So before that one was probably the worst. Good. Rust there. Had to bare metal it in places. And after, then boom. How are you doing? First coat, but yeah, brand new tyres with a nice fresh painted rim. It's going to look pretty damn good. And out here, we're robbing Paul to pay Parry. Got the old diesel pump chugging away. Get it? Because it's pumping diesel. It's got to be a diesel pump.
I like it.
He likes it.
True.
Simple things amuse simple minds. We're both a bit the same.
Today it's a diesel pump.
Today it's a diesel pump. Exactly.
And probably will be for the rest of its life if you hook it up to the car, which I think is the quickest and easiest way to fix the problem.
Potentially. We see. Well, she's getting pretty full.
Yeah, we're up to about there. But now,
Fuel problem fixed. We bypassed the main filter. Put our own line in. And she's alive. The old stereo sort of works. The aerial snapped a bit. It's about as best as we're going to get it. Probably get it upgraded shortly anyways. So yeah, half the lights don't work. We got no low beam, we got high beam. If you wiggle it a lot, feels like there's something going on inside this switch here maybe. I've had to replace this thing before in one of my other, facing the wrong way, this switch. I've had to replace these before in my other Rockies. They seem to wear out reasonably easily. But yeah. We're laughing. It's all working again. It's drivable. It's not quite legal just yet, but it's drivable. So we'll get back to it. I'll show you how some of these tyres turned out real quick. So I haven't pulled all the things off yet, but that gives you an idea. I do have bulbs, Dad.
Okay.
Under there.
Oh,
Under there.
okay.
Under all that business.
I'll get on the mirror.
Gotta love old cars, gotta love old cars. So that blinker wasn't working. I pulled that out and the whole thing just disintegrated. Had no bulb in it. So I need a new one of those. So I might as well get two and replace this one because it's friggin' dodgy. I looked at the one on the other Rocky hoping I could swap them over and they're completely disintegrated too. I've screwed them back in but they're dodgy. I've replaced that bulb. It's now working. We've got a blinker. We got one low beam, both high beams. The low beam on this side works. The bulb is fine, but for some reason it's not working. Low beam wasn't working on either of the things before, and we think it was this cluster. So we swapped the cluster from the other one in. And everything now works on this one, on this cluster, but only one low beam light works. But on this one, zero low beam works, and only half the hazard works. So that one's questionable. But we've run our day. We're going out for dinner shortly. We need to pull that steering wheel off to get this one on. And we still can't work out why that low beam's not working, but everything else is working now. We've got windscreen wipers, we've got the washer is working. I've got to fix some of the brake lights and reverse lights. It could just be a bloody fuse too, who knows. My bin's overflowing. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment with the Rocky. Calling it a day. I'll be coming back on it again tomorrow, potentially. Having a good whack at it. I'll probably just do cleaning potentially tomorrow. All the rims and tyres are done. They look great. Oh, we fixed this back window. That back window wasn't working. That thing was busted. We put a bolt in there, and now it opens and closes. Put all new bolts in here to hold the spare wheel on. Well, not new. They were from the other Rocky. Anyway, see you in a bit. It's another day here in Rooksy's car restoration. I just want to point out something, and Dad said that I didn't really cover it well enough, and he was right. So basically, in the fuel system, we had an air leak of some sort, and he believes it's up in this section here, as it wasn't, as the pumper wasn't working properly. He seems to think that that was leaking, or somewhere in that fuel, in the fuel filter area. So basically what we did was we just bypassed that whole entire section with a line and another filter, and you zip tied that off so it doesn't get caught up in the engine or anything. And yeah, and in order to do that, because we don't have that pumper hooked up, we had to prime the lines with we used the old the air gun in the fuel tank. So we basically covered the fuel tank with a rag, shot a heap of air into the fuel tank until it shot the fuel right up into the line here. And yeah, it was a bit too hard to film any of that and do that at the same time. Obviously I had my hands full and so did Dad. But yeah, now the lines are primed. The only problem is if for some reason we lose that pressure, especially if I'm out in the wild somewhere, priming it may not be so easily done in the wild. Although I do have my own. Like, what do you call it? Compact compressor thing. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, but this is just a temporary fix. Even though it may potentially work forever, or a long time. This is just a temporary fix until I can get another one of those. I'll just get a whole new unit, filter, etc., etc. But yeah. So in today's episode, I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to film. Strip this car, clean it, and yeah. Warning: this may or may not be satisfying to some viewers. Alright, we've shampooed, drill brushed and vacuumed off that back seat. And I'm feeling like that looks $1 million better, or 1 million times, whatever. I still haven't physically washed out the back yet, but yeah, all the stuff's gone now, most of the stuff. You know, to get in here and give this a good, I've got wipes there, give this all a good clean out, wipe down the sides of the car, get all this dust and mould off. Maybe remove this first before I get all this clean and dirtied again. Get out the door jambs. And then yeah, the back door as well. Fun and games, fun and games. But before I do any of that, I'm going to stick that in the sun to dry, or out of my way anyways, and then proceed to rip the front end of the car out so that I can get everything out of the car and then just do it all at once, basically. Front drive passenger seat, bit dusty, musty, but not broken at all. And then that's the floor. Fun and games, fun and games. That's what the driver's seat was looking like. Well, yeah. So we'll yank it out, rip all this carpet out, see what the floor looks like underneath, shall we? Driver's seat's out. So yeah, when I said I was smelling mould, the whole of the under, this is why I don't like the carpets, they trap moisture. The whole of the under of the carpets was very moist. Have a look at all that mould. That is not good for anyone. Plus friggin' rots the floors out too. Look at that, starting to get dodgy. So I'm going to give this all, eventually, maybe not right away, but I'll give this all a refresh and bloody repaint it. Try and get this friggin' crap out. I guarantee you that is holding moisture. The floor actually doesn't look too bad underneath there, but anyways, yeah, Yuck. Well, the driver's side floor is much cleaner, much better looking. I mean, it's slightly discoloured, but it's not like saturated or as rusty as the other side, which is a shock considering how much wetter the driver's side should have potentially gotten. It didn't have any of that underlay crap in it though either, so whatever. Maybe that side has a leak in it, who knows. Have to check the rubbers and stuff. The rubbers on this side look a little bit questionable, and we're starting to get a bit of rust in here, so maybe. Anywho, we'll get into here and clean all this up and get it as nice as we can. If worst comes to worst, we might throw a set of mats in it just for Rego, just to cover up the ugly floor a little bit, maybe. Or I'll give him a quick spray with some white or something. We'll see. Got my boy helping me clean here, doing a good job. Got a bit warm, so we pulled out the dual fans. If I'd have known, eyesight's a wonderful thing. If I'd have known this was all just surface rust underneath, instead of sitting here cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, I just would have sanded the whole bloody thing and repainted it. But about halfway on this floor so far, and that's, I don't know what that is, but it's not coming off. It's like a treatmenty stuff they put on, maybe to help to stop rust or whatever. But yeah, we're about up to here somewhere, and up there we managed to get a lot of the stuff off, but it's not all coming off, unfortunately. I may have to scrape it off with something or sand it. Anyway, back to it. Alright, how's it looking? Back door's as clean as we'll get it for now. I've tried to get in the things, it's just bits of door jambs, somewhat done, pretty much done. This just can't seem to get that off though for some reason. Back floor is looking about as good as we're going to get it. Without sanding, this stuff's not really coming off. So the carpet sort of stained into the paint. And Leo's just finishing up that driver's side there. I've already done the cards are done. Both sides. I've done the passenger side as best as we can. Half the dash on the passenger side is done. So we've got to do this side and around the steering wheel and everything. I can't really finish doing this half of the dash until it gets put back together really. But we can still do that side and the door. And I cleaned up that rust patch and hit it with some primer. I'll give it some white in a second. If you've gotten up to this far in the video, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on our journey with the new Rocky. The video I'm currently doing is starting to get a little bit too long, so I'm probably going to make a part 2. And to be honest, I didn't think I'd need to do so much stuff to get this car back on the road, but here we are. A lot of this stuff doesn't have to be done for Rego, but I want it clean anyways, and this and that and whatever else. So if I'm going to drive it around, I don't really need my kids and my wife breathing in mold and all that other stuff. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. We really want to get to 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, if you like the content, leave us a message, give us a thumbs up, whatever, and to be continued.